Wildlife and wildlands have been disappearing left and right over the years. From rainforests being cut down, oceans getting overfished, to species becoming pushed to extinction, organisms in their habitats have been struggling. Through conservation efforts such as legislation, disease control, and philanthropy, we can protect and strengthen our beautiful wildlife. Lawmaking and the enforcement of those laws are a huge way in which we can help with conservation efforts. Establishing laws that protect certain environments from being destroyed through processes of drilling, overfishing, and human interaction is extremely important in protecting wildlife. Marine protected areas, or MPAs, are just one way in ensuring and maintaining places where wildlife can thrive without being hunted or interacted with by humans. They are found normally in the exclusive economic zone of a country which is within 200 nautical miles of their coastline. Outside of these are ABNJs, or areas beyond national jurisdiction, or the high seas. In ABNJs, the process of establishing MPAs can be quite difficult. An article published in the ICES Journal of Marine Science called MPAs in ABNJ Lessons from Two High Sea Regimes went into depth in the process of establishing an MPA in an ABNJ. As of 2018, there were 12 MPAs in the high seas. 10 were in the North Atlantic and were established under the Osprey Convention, 2 in the Southern Ocean, which were established in the Kamler Convention. Here's a picture of the MPA in the OSPAR. Yeah, that's in the North Atlantic. A part of wildlife conservation that doesn't really come to mind when talking about it is prevention and the detection of epidemics. Over the past couple months, we've seen how impactful and detrimental a disease can be on a population. A study led by Jessica Sanchez and Brian Hudgens wanted to explore possible strategies for epidemic prevention and detection in the Channel Island foxes. The Channel Island fox has been the target of many diseases and viruses that people have introduced to the islands, and that has almost led to the species extinction. By using advanced software, they created a simulation of one of the many islands in order to detect what an outbreak could do to the population and how monitoring and a vaccine could help. The number of foxes to monitor and how frequently those foxes were monitored proved to be a very important part in controlling those outbreaks. They concluded the more frequently you monitor and the more foxes that you monitor, the better chances the population has of surviving. They also concluded that the more foxes that they vaccinated on the island, the higher chance of success of beating this epidemic was on their island. This is what this was San Clemente Island, and so that's the island, and they have 4 different regions of where foxes are different groups of foxes that they have on the island. Probably the biggest driver in conservation efforts has been and always will be money. A lot of money is needed. A lot of money that goes to conservation efforts is donated by foundations and through philanthropists. Doug and Christine Tompkins are philanthropists who donate their time and money to buying land in South America and donating it in the form of national parks. Both of them have donated over 15 million acres of land that created 13 national parks in the Patagonia region of Chile and Argentina. In a TED Talk, Christine explained that Doug thought of it as paying his rent for living on this planet. Unfortunately, Doug passed away a couple years ago in a kayaking incident. But after Doug's passing, Christine decided to take her efforts more seriously and really made an impact. In 2018, she established 25 million acres of new marine national parks in the area. Then in 2019, they finalized the largest private land gift in history, establishing 5 new national parks and expanding 3 others. Here's a picture from their website of all the places that they've really been affecting. Here you can see all the way up into North Argentina and down in Chile and everything. Ooh, probably shouldn't have done that, but yeah. Okay. During this pandemic, there has been many attempts at protecting wildlife, with many thinking that the coronavirus stemmed from wildlife markets. Many people have urged for them to be banned. In an article by Laura Bees called Organizations Plead for Wildlife Market Closures, stated how much of a demand there is to end these wildlife markets. Last month, more than 240 organizations called for the World Health Organization to ban wildlife markets and take better control of the wildlife trade. That includes members of Congress, environmental organizations, and conservation groups, all called for the WHO to take aggressive actions towards shutting down wildlife markets. There are many parts to this beautiful world, but each thrive in different circumstances. Because of these circumstances, different regions have different needs for conservation. Through creating laws protecting these animals from the diseases, and through donating your time and money, conservation efforts are necessary in providing a sustainable future. Thank you.